Hi guys, this is Hima Hegde, bringing to you the Daily News podcast at Sourcing Classes. All the news you need to know and more. To begin with, let us look at the topics underlined for today. In today's session, we will be discussing two bills, that is the Aircraft Amendment Bill and the Essential Commodities Bill that have been passed. One of them is passed in the Rajya Sabha and the second one is passed in the Lok Sabha. So both of them fall under the General Studies too. Let's proceed. Take a look at these headlines. They read, Parliament Proceedings, Aircraft Amendment Bill cleared in Rajya Sabha. Aircraft Amendment Bill gets Parliament nod to give statutory status to the regulators. Parliament Monsoon Session, Aircraft Amendment Bill passed by the Rajya Sabha. So what's with these headlines? In Rajya Sabha, the Aircraft Amendment Bill 2020 was passed. It was introduced in the Lok Sabha on 4th of Feb 2020. It was then passed in the Lok Sabha on 17th of March 2020 and finally on 15th of September 2020, that is yesterday, the bill was passed in Rajya Sabha. So how do we go about? Here's a roadmap for the same. We'll first look at what is the Aircraft Amendment Bill. We'll then look at the necessity for the same and then the features. Moving on, the Aircraft Amendment Bill 2020 seeks to amend the Aircraft Act 1934. What is the Aircraft Act? The Act regulates the manufacturing, possession, use, operation, sale, import and export of the civil aircraft and licensing of the aerodromes as in the airports. The bill proposes to convert the three regulatory bodies under the Civil Aviation Ministry into statutory bodies. What are regulatory bodies? They are public or government agencies which exercise autonomous or independent authority over some area of human activity. The statutory bodies are created by an act of Parliament. It is very important for us to note that the statutory bodies are non-constitutional bodies. That is, they do not have a mention in the Constitution of India. So, coming to the three regulatory bodies that we were talking about, the first one is the DGCA, that is the Directorate General of Civil Aviation. This will carry out the regulatory and safety oversight functions concerning the matters under the bill. The second one is BCAS, that is the Bureau of Civil Aviation Security. The authority will discharge regulatory oversight functions related to the civil aviation security. So this is all about security. The third one is the AAIB, that is the Aircraft Accidents Investigation Bureau. This is pretty self-explanatory. That is, this body will carry out investigations related to aircraft accidents and incidents. Now let us look at why was it needed? What was the necessity for this amendment bill? So here we have something called ICAO, that is the International Civil Aviation Organization, which is a UN specialized agency. So the ICAO had carried out a Universal Safety Oversight Audit Program in the year 2017 and 18. So the audit results showed that the country's score had declined to 57.44% from 65.82%. This would place India below Pakistan and Nepal. There had also been a spike in the number of air safety regulation violations and breaches in the recent past. The most conventional ones, including the Airbus A320 neo planes, were fitted with Pratt and Whitney engines, and this could have had catastrophic consequences as many aircrafts have faced such mid-air glitches, that is the mid-air issues. Also, the DGCA had asked Indigo and Go Air that still use this version of the aircraft, that is this Pratt and Whitney engine, to install modified engines or replace the entire fleet of such planes. Of late, there have been multiple reports on technical snags, and this could ultimately result in creating a sense of fear among the passengers. This could be one of the reasons why the government wants to make aircraft operators more accountable, more answerable. So lastly, this will also enable the three regulatory bodies, that is the DGCA, BCAS and AAIB, to become more empowered and more effective. This would lead to the enhancement in the level of safety and security of the aircraft operators in the country. So here are the features of the same. Now under this bill, the maximum limit of the fine has been increased from rupees 10 lakhs to 1 crore. That is, the fine amounts for violations will be hiked from rupees 10 lakhs to rupees 1 crore. It also enlarges the scope of the act. It enlarges the scope of the act to include regulation of all areas of air navigation. So this will fulfill ICAO's safety requirements. The proposed amendments would fulfill the safety requirements of ICAO, and this will lead to the enhancement in the level of safety and security of the aircraft operations in the country. Also, the aircrafts that belong to any armed forces of the Union other than naval, from military or air force, will be outside the purview of the Aircraft Act 1934. Lastly, there will be designated officers or authorized officers that will look after that will be monitoring the penalties, and there will be a provision introduced for compounding of the offences. In conclusion, this bill seeks to improve India's aviation safety ratings and provide statutory status to the regulatory institutions. So that's about it for the first article. Moving on, we have another set of headlines here. Lok Sabha clears bill to amend the Essential Commodities Act. Parliament proceedings September 15 updates. Lok Sabha passes Essential Commodities Amendment Bill 2020. So why is it in the news? On 15th of September 2020, that is yesterday, the Essential Commodities Amendment Bill was passed in the Lok Sabha. Here's the roadmap for the same. We'll first look into some background, then we'll see what exactly is the Essential Commodities Amendment Bill, then we'll look into the purpose, and then we'll derive a few extra pieces of information and then draw a conclusion for the same. So here's the background. The Essential Commodities Act, that is ECA, was enacted in the year 1955 by the Jawaharlal Nehru government. This act provides for production, supply, distribution, trade and commerce in any farm good deemed essential and in the interest of the general public. So the bill that we are discussing seeks to amend the Essential Commodities Act. So what exactly is this bill? Essential Commodity Amendment Bill 2020. This bill empowers the central government. It empowers the central government in terms of production, supply, distribution, trade and commerce of certain commodities. This amendment designates the central government to regulate the stock of the essential commodities. The essential commodities such as cereals, edible oils, oilseeds, pulses, onions and potatoes. However, a state can choose not to impose restrictions on the stocking. If the restrictions are imposed, then the retailers, wholesalers, distributors, etc. are not allowed to stock up. No stocking up can be done beyond certain limits. If that is seen, that is, if there is stocking up beyond a certain limits, then those goods will be sold immediately in the market in order to increase the supply in the market. Once the supply is more, the cost or the prices of the goods will also come down. Let us now look at the purpose of the same. The purpose. So firstly, to ensure that there is no hoarding and black marketing. What is hoarding? Hoarding is nothing but the purchase of large quantities of commodities and then storing them. So it is to ensure that if the supply of essential commodities are obstructed due to hoarding and black marketing, normal lives of people shouldn't be affected. Also, it is important to ensure the delivery of certain products and commodities. Of late, there has been less investment in the farm sector due to less output generated out of bad investments in cold storage, processing and export. So it is important to lessen the fears of private investors. This bill also seeks to increase the competitive market environment. It seeks to increase the competition in the agriculture sector and enhance the farmers' income. Lastly, the bill aims to liberalize the regulatory system while protecting the interests of the consumers. So that's about the purpose. Here we have a few extra pieces of information. In March 2020, the government bought mask and hand sanitizer under the act to make sure that these products, key for preventing the spread of COVID-19, are available. So in July, government removed mask and sanitizer from essential commodities. So let us draw the conclusion out of whatever we discussed, that is about the Essential Commodities Amendment Bill. The announced amendment is expected to help both the farmers as well as the consumers in bringing the price stability. This is a significant step towards the transformation of agriculture and raising the farmers' income. So that's about it with respect to this article. So the answer to yesterday's question is option D. So here's a snapshot of the D&D which you'll find in the official Sosin Classes website. So let me read out the question for you. The prelims practice question. Consider the following. The bill proposes to deregulate the production, storage, movement and sale of several foodstuffs including cereals, pulses, edible oils and onions except in the case of extraordinary circumstances. The bill is meant to replace an ordinance promulgated in June in the wake of COVID-19 lockdown. It says stock limits can be imposed if retail prices surge 100% above the average in case of non-perishables and 50% in case of perishables. Which of the above statements is or are correct regarding the Lok Sabha passed Essential Commodities Amendment Bill? Option A, 1 alone. Option B, 1 and 2. Option C, all of the above. Option D, none of the above. So here are the main specific questions. Let me read out for you. The first one, explain the need for amending the rules of the department related parliamentary standing committees on their tenure. Describe the act and the amendments needed to be brought to provide more discretionary power to the LG of Delhi. Discuss what entails the Aircraft Amendment Bill 2020 recently passed by the Parliament Houses. Write a short note on the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana. What is the number of interstate migrant workers in India and why is it relevant now? What do interest rate derivatives of RBI mean? So you'll find the answers in the document. Please refer to it. Thus, leaving you all to write the answers in the comment section, it's a wrap on Yours News podcast. Tomorrow is another day with another news. Thank you.